great to have you. So right now, this Trump organization, the longtime controller, is on the stand, Jeffrey McConney. He also, oddly testified in front of Juan Merchan for another case, a Trump civil fraud trial with the Trump organization. So these are kind of the same cast of characters we see, cropping up here. He talked about these payments. He's having meetings with Alan Weisselberg. Trump's not even there. So they're discussing how to do it in the books. This seems very relevant to Trump's team and not so much helpful to the prosecution.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is. And right, President Trump wasn't even in the room, is what he's saying when this was discussed. And, Bianca, we say this every day. There is nothing there. President Trump did nothing wrong, yet they are continuing this day after day with all the law enforcement resources, tying President Trump up out of a campaign trail, sitting in a courtroom, threatening to throw him in jail. Day after day after day. And I feel like every day exonerates him even more with the witnesses that we've heard so far. And one other point is this judge, all the hundreds of cases I've prosecuted, I've had to turn over my witness list that day, who I'm going to call the next day to let the defense know with good reason. All the rights belong to the defendant. Yet here, the judge is letting them hide the ball. They don't have to tell President Trump who they're going to call that day. So they have to be surprised. They have to be prepared for everything. That's not how you run a criminal trial. Yet that's how they're continuing to do it.
No, in fact, that came up exactly today with this witness. They had no heads up, really. And so when they started to enter into evidence, they're like, well, we need a little more time to review this. They're going to have to push back on some of this. It definitely, as you say, when it comes to due process, Donald Trump's is definitely unusual and unprecedented. I'd like to talk to you about this gag order. The judge came in today and said, OK, 10th violation, slapped him with a $1,000 fine. I think our viewers know that's because that's the maximum. But he's really, he has either the fine or the jail. And he did say, if you keep doing this, jail may be back on the table. Wouldn't that just, make Donald Trump even stronger? I mean, I don't think he's going to do it, but the judge somewhat seems to be backing himself into a corner the more he brings up threatening jail to Donald Trump.
Yeah, he's not going to do it. He can't do it. Of course, it makes President Trump stronger. I don't want to see him in jail, though. No one wants to see him in jail. This is a witch hunt. It continues to be a witch hunt. But so he's not violating the gag order. He is the defendant. He has every right to say, I'm innocent. What they're doing is unfair to me. And again, this judge has every right and should gag Michael Cohen, the prosecution's star witness. Yet he's not. No. He can call in. That judge has the authority, Bianca, to call in every single witness and say, don't talk about this trial if you're a witness. Yet he's letting Michael Cohen basically try to bait President Trump on TikTok, making money on TikTok, going after President Trump, posting memes of President Trump in jail clothes. And President Trump can't even defend himself. Yet one thing great the president was doing this morning was he was out there talking about the chaos at these universities. So he has an audience, and I think they hate that so much, that Donald Trump is out there leading this country where Joe Biden is not, even though he's forced to sit in the courtroom every day.
Yeah, he called it right out. Of course, they can't stand it. The judge saying Friday to Todd Blanche, Trump's attorney, that it's not necessary. But Blanche said he's running for office. He's, the leading GOP contender here. Now, listen, there's a new poll out. ABC, Trump has 46% of support compared to Biden's 44%. We know the polls are going to fluctuate. We're getting really close. But I'm glad you brought up what's happening on the campuses, because get this, there is a Politico story out today talking about how all these pro-Palestinian protesters are really activists. We know that. Backed by Biden's biggest donors. Can you imagine if it was the flip side, if it was something else with a Republican here? This is, it's not shocking, I think, because Biden obviously has, been threading the needle, trying to say he's pro-Israel, yet, denying ammunition, like we're just hearing today. But this is a stunning revelation.
It is, and I think they were trying to take attention away from the border, all the chaos at the border, which was working with all these organized protests. But that, once again, backfired on the Democrats. And, Republicans don't do things like this. We don't act that way, to generalize. We don't. I attended University of Florida's graduation this weekend. Not one single protester, not one voice. Beautiful graduation ceremony. Nothing went wrong. Yet Columbia, where all these liberal progressives are running it, they just canceled their graduation.
It is unbelievable. Pam Bondi, always a pleasure to have you. Thanks for your legal analysis this Monday. It's going to be another busy week. We know that. See you back here soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.